And welcome back to another edition of Classic Doom Walkthroughs. Today we're continuing along with the Megawatt Doom Revolution. We're continuing with map 16, Utopia Factory. You may recall that the last map we played, Zombie or Not To Be, was the super secret map 32 of this Megawatt. So now, having completed the map 31 secret map, map 32 super secret map, we now return to the normal order of maps, map 16, Utopia Factory. The game is powered by GZDoom using the Doom 2 Hell on Earth platform, so always playing on the ultra-violence difficulty setting in order to get 100% in all three of these categories. There are 66 kills to be had. There's the lone secret. You can see it's already poking its nose out to the left. And 10 items to pick up. I'll be able to show you how to do all of that. The assumption is we're going to start off as pistol starters, so we're going to go ahead and just try to take care of these shotgunners with our pistol, which we did, and at least pick up one shotgun. So now we legitimately have the shotgun. Now, I did raise the brightness level for this map because there's a few dark areas. It's really hard to see any of the enemies. So I don't know if I quite did it enough because, you know, I get some comments. People are legitimately saying, hey, it's a little bright, and others are like, I can't see. But I try to strike a balance at all times. It's just sometimes it's impossible. But I do my best. So let's just open up this little window just to show you. That's where we'll come out, run along this ledge into there to pick up those goodies. That'll be the secret. I'll show you how to get that after. So down here there is a chain gun, and there's also a box of chain gun bullets right where I'm standing. So I'm picking those up as a pistol starter, I guess. So let's go ahead and hit those switches. That will reveal this, I don't know, sort of a factory area. So there are some imps, that there's also a mancubus just beyond, and there's a mancubus to the left as well, so we don't want to stick out too far. We'll use our newly found chain gun just for the imps because they can make a nuisance of themselves. But we'll take care of the mancubus with our regular shotgun. That's all we've really picked up so far besides the chain gun. Looks like the mancubus was trying to come inside, but we said no. There's the other mancubus. Now, I like to just peekaboo shoot. The mancubus often doesn't even get a shot off because it can't see you, if you know what I mean, long enough. Well, there was a shot off, I guess. In any event, that mancubus is now gone. So let's go ahead. We can use our chain gun or regular, or the super shotgun that comes through this door. So let me go ahead and grab it and just kind of step out quickly. And then we're going to use this little area next to the door. It's not very big, but it's sufficient as a hold point, and we can dispose of the 3 arachnotrons with relatively little danger. We do have a decent amount of shotgun ammo, so why not use it? Here's another area where I made it a little bit brighter for. There are chain gunners in these 2 little aisles here. That's just a room full of zombie men. We'll get to there in a moment. And another chain gunner here. So if you want the green armor, it's sitting there waiting for you. Chain gun, I think, is the best weapon at this point because it's a room full of zombie men. Not the most difficult enemy, but a lot of them do create a little bit of damage. So if you can pick them off relatively quickly without taking any damage, so much the better. And you can always pick up their bullet boxes that they drop, so you're not really down any. Why don't we go ahead now? There are, yes, we hear some revenants. There's imps around those through those bars. So let's first of all just hit that. Yeah, we first want to hit that barrel that the revenant was sitting or standing or dancing around, I guess, next to injure the revenant first. And then we can use our chain gun or our shotgun. Don't stick out any further. There's the other revenant with another barrel. Don't come out further than this because there is a chain gunner just around the corner. So before we start getting into the goo area, we can get a rad suit. Let's take care of some of these imps. I think that's probably them, but let's go have a seat. Switch over now to the super shotgun because we're going to alert a Kako. So let's go ahead and pick up these armor bonuses. Oh yes, I did mention the chain gunner, and then I ran right by him. So don't do that. The chain gunner needs to be taken care of before you start running after the Kako demon. My apologies for my hastiness. So don't have the yellow key, so we can't go in through there. So we can go out through this area. There is a series of enemies here. There are a couple of Cacodemons, and there's a few Hell Knights. The other Hell Knight, I don't know if you notice, is around the corner. Here it comes. You can do the infighting routine, that's perfectly legit, but that's, I don't know, I find there's a decent amount of ammo here. It's not really that necessary. Well, this part's a little bit hairy, a lot, and I mean a lot of demons come popping out of that door. So you do want to strategically... Oh, I was hoping the other section of barrels was still around. I guess the Helm Knight took care of it. Right, so if you strategically use the barrels for the pinkies, they are more manageable than not, I think. Right, they do give you a decent amount of shotgun shells. If you need more, there's a few more here, plus the yellow keys, so don't forget it. Another box of chain gun ammo if you like to go rat-tat-tat for the pinkies. And that should clear the area just fine. Don't forget there were a couple of armor bonuses in here, so I did pick them up. Make sure you do as well. More ammo here, of course. There is a damaging floor and an area to explore after, but we do have the yellow key from that room, so let's go ahead and explore that. First, we're going to grab a rad suit, because we're just going to get an item that does count towards our 100%. It's this Berserk pack sitting in here, which is nice, and there's no way out of these bars. You have to fall into the goo and press that little lift, and it'll take us there. So there's a Kako around the corner here with a pinky. Yes, we could do a little bit of infighting with them, but it's really, like I said, not necessary. We have a generous amount of ammo. Pick up the Mega Armor. We don't have the red key yet, but we will. We're going to press this button. It just allows us access to a certain room that will need to dispose of a bunch of Kakos, and of course, for the exit. So we mentioned before there was a ledge that we got to walk around. I did make it brighter, the game, for this map, for this particular area as well. Now you have to carefully step outside. Yeah, you don't want to fall into the goo. I mean, you can get more rad suits and keep trying. That's a little bit tedious. So just if you're careful, tiptoe around, grab all these goodies. You got a Mega Armor, a Plasma Rifle, all sorts of fun. So what I like to do now, I don't like to take the long way. By pressing that button up there, we've revealed some rad suits. So let's just go this way. This was the way where we could have gone from after getting the yellow key. Instead of taking the yellow door, we could have taken that corridor. So now we have the Plasma Rifle. Why not just use a little bit of plasma? There's a lot of Kakos in here, so why not? Use the Super Shotgun, I suppose, for the remainder. There is a rocket launcher on this map, but it's reserved basically for the very end. So why don't we go ahead now? We could actually take the path back up to the yellow door, I think is the most efficient. This is the way we didn't come before. We instead went through the yellow door and went up the other way. So having disposed of that secret through there, we can continue on now. We had pressed this button before just to show you what we had done. And now, just before you go into the red door, you can't legitimately get out. So just make sure that you have everything. You do. So let's step in. There is a rocket launcher here. Let's go ahead. We'll do the final count, though. Yes, all 66 kills, the one secret, and 10 items. So we're looking good. Let's switch over to the rocket launcher. Yes, it does reveal our final target. Maybe we got to fire a few more. I forgot. There we go. And that's that. Yeah, Utopia Factory, map 16. I mean, admittedly, there's different ways you can go about it, and it could be a bit confusing as to what order to do it, but as you saw, the way I did it was, I think, relatively efficient. It took care of all the enemies in sequence, and we didn't have to really double back very much because I used kind of the back doors to the different areas, so to avoid kind of just running around and repeating ourselves through the map. Hopefully you agreed, and it's not only saved you some time, it gave you some good tips and tricks. Maybe you just simply enjoy the walkthrough. Either way, yeah, hit that subscribe button. You won't miss any further videos that I upload. For now, that's it for Classic Doom Walkthroughs. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.